Welcome to episode 26 of OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Ash Ketchum.
You got me with that one. And I am, as always, B. Hines. How are you tonight?
Jump into the OVW TV chat room. Tiny Brian, our producer, is with us as always.
Hello, folks.
Tag him at OVW Podcast with all of your questions and comments. He'll be compiling those, and he'll feed us those at the end of the show.
Yeah, but if you want to jump to the front of the line, the super chat is the secret word of the day that will get Tiny Brian to interrupt whatever we're doing
Immediately.
But before, and say what it is you have to say.
Before we get too far into this, let's welcome our guest tonight, Chris Runyon, OVW Superfan, co-host of the Final Count podcast. How you doing?
Doing great, gentlemen. Thank you guys for having me on here. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Very excited to have you tonight, Chris. Let's get into just tell some people a little bit about you. How did you get involved with wrestling, OVW?
Well, I would have to have a lot of time to be able to get into the full details of it, but
that's okay. We got an
the synopsis of it, basically, especially with OVW. My mother-in-law actually started watching the show Wrestlers on Netflix, and she was telling me and my wife that we should take the time to, watch it, seeing how much I'm a wrestling fan. Okay. And
so I guess you've mostly watched the Connecticut and the Jacksonville. What kind of wrestling do you watch?
I watch a little bit of everything. I try to keep an open mind with all forms of, wrestling, because I think not one promotion is, I don't think it should be one all be all. I think when all types of promotions are doing well, I think wrestling does great.
You're here.
So
yeah. Amen to that. I agree.
So Wrestlers on Netflix. Your mother-in-law. You eventually go to Davis Arena.
Yes.
What's a memory from that night then?
Well, first memory I actually have, you guys have actually talked to him. You know him. You've seen him. Mr. Keith Silva. I call him the Godfather of OVW.
Mm-hmm. We call him the mayor of the fan zone, actually.
Yep. Yes. He's awesome. And, he basically just took me in like one of his own from the very moment I got in line out there.
As a matter of fact, he just joined the chat right here. So we can say hi to him right now. Hey,
the
Keith.
Godfather is here.
That's right. And everybody else that's in the chat room with us, we've got Brian, Ronald, wrestling's biggest fan, Wendy, Wren.
They're awesome, by the way. Wendy and Wren are.
Chicken. That is a new one. Greetings to you.
It is Chicken. It's with an A at the end. That's hilarious. Can we take a minute and talk about the electric type Pokemon in the room? At least I think he's an electric type Pokemon in the room. So we are now on our Pikachu cam. It's up there.
We have a Pikachu cam, ladies and gentlemen.
You want the ears on? I know you don't like the ears, baby.
That's okay.
So that is not just like a pillow in our good friend Jackman's lap. That is actually his cat, Forby.
I will see whether I can get a picture from this angle, because I'm seeing like just eyes, and sometimes it's like everything's okay, and then sometimes it's like I really wish we were doing something else.
Yeah, she's a little all over the place.
She's uncertain. Or he's uncertain.
I'll put this in the chat or on the Facebook. There we go.
I used to be cute. I don't know what happened all these years later.
Well,
I mean, you're cute in that hat. Come on now.
You
are looking festive. Well, everybody's festive this evening.
While you're doing that, Mr. Hines, let's get into the tour updates. I'll take it away. Actually, you have a script, Mr. Runyon. Do you want to give us some tour updates?
Yeah, why don't you?
We have an unfortunate thing to lead off the tour update this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I see on the paper here there was a cancellation for the one HotCon in Pikeville for October 26th. I don't know if anything has been rescheduled as of yet. We have also OVW Hell Night. That's on Halloween night. It is Spin the Wheel and Make a Deal. From last I saw, most of the tickets are going fast. So if you want to get your tickets, you better go ahead to OVWTix.com.
Were you there last year for that?
No, I actually started coming this year, literally in January.
Wow. It's only been since January?
Yeah,
it feels like you've been here the whole time we've been coming.
It feels like you've been part of this thing from jump.
My wife legitimately thinks we've been coming longer than that. And I mean, maybe we have, but to my memory, the first time I remember coming is when Mick Foley was coming in and I got to meet him.
Oh, sure.
Which was awesome.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, then we also...
wait, folks, we do have OVW Fan Zone Jason. No, I'm sorry. I thought he made a... I'm sorry. My apologies. Never mind.
So you threw a flag on the field. And
I did.
You have to
threw the flag.
What do you say? There is no penalty. Resume play. First down.
Yeah.
So we also got, ladies and gentlemen, we got OVW's pay-per-view, The Reckoning, coming November the 2nd. That's going to be a pretty big pay-per-view. Can't wait to hear what more matches are going to be announced, probably coming for tomorrow night. We'll probably get more updates with that.
Oh, yeah.
Then we also got here on the paper, this is caught my eye, intriguing, OVW's Bourbon Brawl, November 8th. It'll be at Bourbon County High School in Paris, Kentucky. That's got my intrigue. I've never been out there, gentlemen.
Oh, well, that is sponsored by Divine Spirits.
That's very close to our heart.
Through. Yeah. And actually, it's the 9th.
My apologies.
It was mistyped, but that's okay.
I mistype a lot of things around here.
It's the Saturday after the pay-per-view.
I thought it was on Friday. I'm sorry. I just kind of went off my brain.
Are we sure about this? Because I thought it was the 9th.
I'll confirm.
Fan Zone Universe, can you confirm this for a while?
I bet they can.
I bet Malachi can.
I would imagine that somebody can.
I will confirm it myself
I'm
momentarily.
just busy, on camera talking with you guys. In case you didn't notice, this was the first of our Halloween episodes. We're going to do 2 this year because we didn't really do any last year.
No.
So we're making up for lost time.
We decorated the studio a little bit. Everybody here is in costume.
Sweet ass skull.
Oh yeah, that is really sweet.
I love explains why Chris is wearing a sombrero and Jackman is dressed like Pokemon.
Malachi, can we get the camera?
Hi, I see you.
I might try to turn her around so everybody can see this belly, but we're slowly getting a understanding over here, so I'm not trying to make any.
Yeah, I'm not
trying to make any sudden moves.
No sudden moves.
Your costume partner does have claws.
I don't want to lose any blood or skin.
Oh, she's all talk.
And
she's adorable. I know that.
Yeah.
So they are both in costume, and I listened to the weather today, and the weatherman said dress for the 70s. So here we are.
Okay.
All right.
I thought you looked sleepy. Like you look like grab the Sears and Roebuck catalog and go lay down and look at the toy section until you fall asleep.
In 1973.
Sleepy. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we were neither one of lives then, actually. But
the butterfly collar big enough for me to fly out of this chair and down the street.
Yeah, I want to make you some hot cocoa. I really kind of want to.
You do look comfy.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm busy. I'm reading the chat.
Yeah, but are you?
Up next, we've got a.
Do we have? You can't offer hot cocoa and then not produce.
I said
hot
I wanted
We're
to.
not talking about chocolate
good.
anymore, guys. Do we have anything from the Bourbon County Board of Tourism? Or
no, we've reached out. We're still waiting to hear back.
Okay,
from them.
but we will be throwing to a break. We'll be back with our predictions, all of that fun stuff. Malachi, one more time. Oh, 4B. Oh, 4B. We'll be back right after this.
Dream of reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling. The OVW Academy with Al Snow, the birthplace of legends including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
Hi, I'm Wendy, and I'm in the OVW Fan Zone.
I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. From counting the lights in your local armory to main eventing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan. Collar and elbow. The wrestling brand.
Hi, this is Roy Bishop, and we're in the OVW Fan Zone.
It's me, Cal Hero, and I am at the OVW Fan Zone. Come on, hang out.
Welcome back to the OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Jack Minogues.
And I am Brian Hines.
And this is Chris Runyon, OVW superfan, co-host of the Final Count podcast, our co-host for the evening here on the Fan Zone Live. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're
Fantastic.
doing great. Tell us a little bit about the Final Count podcast.
Yeah, so it was, an intriguing opportunity that came its way with me. I came out, and most people, like you guys know, I was trying to get involved in some form of podcasting. I was thinking about starting up my own thing called Pandemonium a few months back.
Name.
And thank you. And I had a couple of people in mind to do this with. It was actually your guest last week. Rocco Jerome is going to be one of them.
Very entertaining.
Absolutely. He's got so much energy and charisma, and he's so intelligent. And then Neil Brewer, who's actually starting up a wrestling promotion of his own with a couple of his friends who does the Louisville Acting Theater.
Oh, cool.
Bullpen Pro Wrestling. I'm excited for him. He was going to be another person that we were going to collaborate with. And we were timing and everything was off. And I've met a lot of awesome people at OVW, and Ryan Mosley and Brian Dixon actually reached out to me and basically just was wanting to know what would it take for me to come on and just, be a guest on the show. And I was like, I'll do a show with you guys. I don't care. And then literally after one of the shows, they literally asked me, hey, would you enjoy coming on and being the third co-host for this? And I really feel just so grateful for that, because I've always wanted to be involved with wrestling in some capacity. And a lot of times, and I will say this, my wife, God love her, she's watching, I drive her crazy.
What's her name?
Amanda Runyon.
Amanda Runyon, thanks for joining us tonight.
Very active in the Fan Zone as well.
Oh, I bet she is. Actually, our 4-year anniversary is tomorrow.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy anniversary to Chris and Amanda.
Thank you. And actually, this will be my very first show tomorrow that I will be missing since I've been attending OVW. But it's for good reason. I'm taking my beautiful wife out. We're going to have some fun. And
you deserve a night off.
Yes.
I appreciate it. I keep getting creamed every week too, gentlemen. I had cream in places I shouldn't be had. No man should have cream. Okay.
I have to admit, I was back Kroger today, and I did spend a minute in the whipped topping section of the store, just thinking. I mean, does he expect it? Has he now come to sort of want it and need it? But I elected not to.
Honestly, I know I'm digressing a little bit off topic, but I will say this: Omar and Luscious, they are both awesome. Yeah. They've went out of their way to not only interact with me, but to put smiles on my wife's face and, my family and just everybody in the arena. And then, I'm just playing into it, and I'm feeding off that. And it's to the point, I'm getting called Krispy Kreme. I'm getting, everybody's chanting cream this man. And it's to the point, my wife literally left Ramp Side B to go sit with Keith and them over there because she knew something was up. And I kid you not, there was 6 cans of canned whipped cream that was brought out last week.
Oh, no.
Now, I don't think all of them came just towards me, but I had a poncho that was given to me from one Eric Montgomery. And the poncho
I was going to say, didn't you wear a poncho like you were at Gallagher?
I did, but then, guys, I got violated. It got ripped off of me. And then, at that point, I was just not safe, But...
Right.
Oh, let's go to the 4B cam.
Yeah, we got,
the 4B
we got an important.
There we go.
4B.
Up and around. Look at that. Look at that.
But
look at the camera.
Look at you.
There it is.
So I don't know if there are any other cats watching, but if there are, just in case, I'm going to speak directly to all of you.
My cat Gizmo might be watching.
This is 4B right here. This is her thing. She might not do it because she has the thing on, but you can usually get her to auto click, auto clean there. That's a good talent. Keeping 4B's very, very hygienic, very sanitary.
I can tell. I love it.
Yeah, I see that.
Thanks. All right. Yeah. So Final Count podcast. That's available anywhere. That's available anywhere and everywhere.
Yes.
And
everywhere you can get the OVW podcast, the unofficial podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Right. Yep. And shout out to Ryan. Him and I text chat sometimes. Great guy.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys. Yep.
Let's get.
You guys should go on the Final Count sometime soon.
We would love to.
We would love to have you all.
Anytime.
Absolutely.
Hey, there's Matthew.
Ryan invited me one night, and it was months and months and months ago, and I was like, man, I haven't watched anything. I was like, I would love to. But I don't even have Zoom.
I know you're not much on the social media aspect of things.
Yeah.
And I don't blame you.
We're thinking about getting a T-shirt that literally just says Jackman's not on social media.
Yeah. If it was if I was designing it, it would just say not on social media, so it would have more you could sell it to other people, maybe,
I would buy it.
Yeah, I got you.
Just not on social media. I think people would vibe with that shirt. Kind of like a die-uppy scum shirt.
I think 4B needs a shirt because I would buy one.
4B used to have a homemade denim vest that she took off and hid somewhere that we never found. She's never been a big fan of clothes.
That was by design.
Yeah.
If a cat does not want to do something, guess what? They're not doing it.
The Ramones shirt, though, she kept that on.
Well, that's because the Ramones are pretty badass.
Yeah, she knew that even as a young child.
He's like, you got that right.
Do we have predictions? Is it time for predictions?
Hey,
do we have any comments?
Oh, well, look at that.
Let's go to predictions. Oh, fire. And what was I supposed to do? Prediction.
There it is.
Let's do it again. Hang on. Do it again. Okay. Yes. Prediction.
Okay.
I was doing it until the video ended.
Perfect. Can you update us on where we stand, please?
All right. So last week there was nothing new to predict because they just gave us, and what a carnival that turned out to be.
Carnival.
I mean, it really was. It was incredible. So you guys still stand at 9-9 to 6-5. You've got 9 good points and you might notice there at your feet, there's now a real live pumpkin.
There is.
Festive for the season. I have thought that perhaps if one of you wanted a treat, we could find something heavy and let one of you smash it at some point after the season is over.
That's fine. Can I carve it in the meantime?
I mean, sure, yeah.
I mean, I used to be really good at carving pumpkins back in the day, and I haven't done it yet, or I haven't done it in a while because I haven't had time, but it used to be a hobby of mine.
Can I shoot my slingshot at it when they're decaying like I used to do when I was a little kid?
I've got boxes and boxes of ammo in the other room you can use.
I'm just saying that might be a fun treat that we can spend some of the. See, what we're trying to do here, Chris, is when they predict things right, they earn good points.
Okay.
When they predict things incorrectly, they earn not good points.
Okay.
And they can earn rewards, benefits, or,
theoretically speaking,
sanctions. No, nothing's actually happened yet. We're still building tension on that point. We have a whole team in Finland who's trying to put it together. It's very complicated. But
to be honest, I came in really close to having to cash in some of my good points just to get 4B here tonight. Tiny Brian was not on board for this.
Not fully. Live cat on the air. Things can happen. But thus far, it's going well.
She's the star of the show right now.
It's good.
I didn't want Chris to feel outshined.
Listen, there's no way I can ever outshine 4B. It's just clear as day.
I mean, that just kind of goes without saying.
Let's get into it. Let's start with our first match of the list. That is not the right one. There it is. It is Ari Alexander returning to OVW after a significant absence, and one of the America's sweethearts, Sophia Rose. So, guys, what do you think?
Let's start with our guest.
Yeah.
You got an opinion here? You want to bring a revolution perspective to this? We haven't said that word all evening.
That's true.
Well, first and foremost, let me make something perfectly clear, gentlemen. Our father, Leather Daddy Doug, is always one step ahead of everybody.
He certainly has been up until this point.
I mean, this year he is certainly, he certainly has been thus far. So what do you think he's got in mind at making this match?
You know, I'm sure he's going to be scouting to see what both women can bring to the table. I think both are very incredible athletes. I personally, biasly, I'm more of a Sophia Rose fan. I love her, origin story of where she's come from, what she's had to, go through to get to where she's at. I think it's incredible. I think Ari's incredible too, but I think Sophia Rose, I think she's going to take the dub.
So this is what we would call, we have two different kinds of predictions. We have the heart prediction.
Yes.
And then there's the head prediction. And this is a heart prediction for you.
Yes.
Would you say that?
I have to stick with the heart.
Yes. Sure. We love a good heart prediction around
here. So
in
in the chat, there are a couple people saying that it's now Sophia Rose versus Holiday.
Oh, really? Had it changed? I got those just this afternoon. Oh, hey, look at that. Cosmic Joe Chronicles with a $5 super chat says, how many Carson Drakes does it take to screw in a light bulb? None, because he's not very bright.
I would raise him $5 more. I agree with every penny of that.
But he has a summer home. He's summering somewhere that sounds snotty.
Yeah.
Sure. Regardless of whether or not it's Sophia Rose or Alexander, my prediction stays the same. So I was going to go with Sophia Rose. Given that Ari, we haven't seen her recently, I think that it's just the logical choice that Sophia would take the victory there.
Well, at first I was thinking, I don't remember making a prediction on Ari Alexander and Sophia Rose, but that's because Ari Alexander is coming back to Davis Arena tomorrow night. It will be great to see her again. It's been a while, possibly either her or Holly did, from what we hear. But,
she was at least advertised. Whether or not
she was at least advertised.
Card
so
subject to change, as they say.
Either way, I'm going to go Sophia Rose as well this time.
Look at that, a sweep. Okay.
We got 4B cam.
Let's go to 4B cam.
Oh.
Kill the
headlights and put it in neutral.
Predictions.
I think she picked Sophia Rose.
It's a madhouse.
I think so.
There we go. 4B cam.
Predictions.
That was very hard, Jackman.
I know, some movement. We just had some movement. I wanted it to be tracked.
Let's go to this, not that one, the one before, that one. Let's go to our second match, which is the aforementioned Carson Drake, the most successful man in professional wrestling trademark,
according to him,
versus Louisville's own Dustin Jackson.
That's a toughie.
Chris, what say you?
Easy pick for me. DJ all day long.
Ryan Hines?
It's going to be entertaining. I can tell you that much, because Carson Drake is, just a very entertaining guy in the ring, whether you're seeing him at a Spot Monkey show in Southern Ohio, or you're seeing him in the NWA, or you're seeing him at Hot Point Davis Arena. You're in for some entertainment value as far as that goes. But with that being said, Dustin Jackson is a pretty formidable guy himself. And this time around, I'm really hoping that Dustin Jackson hurts Carson Drake. Not like really hurts, but
takes the win.
It's really fun to see Carson Drake get a beating. I'm not going to lie. He's got a really punchable face.
Such a punchable face.
We just don't want to see what happened down at the waterfront happen again, where his trunks got pulled out.
No,
that still blinded me to this day.
I'm surprised you were able to drive
Drake
here.
as I want. Yeah.
It was horrible.
There was a half moon that night too.
It was
too, if you remember.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going, for sake of conversation, Carson Drake. I love Dustin Jackson. I really do. Have been great since he's come back. I would love to see this at a house show, kind of the Carson
that'd be even better. Yeah.
Carson Drake Uncaged.
An extended version of this.
Well, I think these might be two of the most pound-for-pound athletic guys on the entire roster, in all honesty. And Carson Drake at a house show is a different guy than Carson Drake on TV. I've said that before. Not that Carson Drake on TV is a bad wrestler. But
no. You and I can both speak from experience as far as that goes.
But
I'm glad you finally got that.
I'd really like to see that sometime. Maybe we'll get to see that at Bourbon Brawl on November 9th.
Boy, wouldn't that be nice?
But I will go Carson Drake.
All right.
Okay.
All right. And yeah, it looks like the chat room is mostly with you guys, or with Chris and Chris and Brian. I am losing all sense of words over here. There's a lot going on. Let's move on to our next match.
Word salad.
Forby Cam.
Okay, kill the match
everybody
window.
Remain silent.
Are we getting down?
Oh no!
It's because you mentioned Carson Drake. You can't blame her at this point.
Forby is thirsty. She is.
So apparently she threw up in her mouth a little bit when we talked about Carson Drake, and she needed a drink.
Okay.
So there's that.
All right. Well, while Forby is down here closer to me, that's disgusting to do into a microphone. Let's move on to our third match.
It's fun.
Beaches,
Also
Cream,
disgusting.
and Cal Hero, the oddest couple in the OVW, and versus AJC, Dalton McKenzie, and Tony Gunn of the Revolution. Chris, why don't you? We're all in suspense to know what you're gonna say.
First and foremost, what happened at the end of last week was complete and utter blasphemy. I want to make it perfectly clear that Omar and Cal, them titles that you both have currently, you better hold on to them because you're not going to have them much longer. Because I promise you, my father and your father is always one step ahead. So my prediction for this match, I'm sticking with the Revolution because that's where my loyalty lies. And I promise you, the people in the chat, majority of them will agree with me because they know, like I do, where their bread is buttered, and that is by Leather Daddy Doug and the Revolution.
Chris, let me ask you something before we turn to the broadcast team.
Yes,
because I do have something I'm curious about. Before we called them the Revolution, when they were just the masked faction that ran in and interrupted things from time to time, nobody was cheering them. Like, nobody really cheered those random dudes in masks. Can you remember when the flip point was for you when you went, no, I like these guys?
When Tony Gunn turned.
Really?
He took you with him.
Well, that's the night when they legit caught me on camera off guard and my face literally went viral.
I remember that.
Yeah.
People was comparing me to the Undertaker street guy that was, and it's like, he's still 10 times better than me, by the way. But that's when I noticed it, and I noticed a lot of people at the arena, because I've been going weekly like you guys have.
Sure.
People were getting tired of the interference. We wasn't getting a payoff, but I feel like the story that's been told through the summer before we had the shutdown, and we was even having it in the spring and the winter of the early in this year.
Right, yeah.
It's worked out because to me, when was the last time, gentlemen, that you've seen the crowd so torn down the middle? I will say this. Last week, I noticed a lot of OVW faithful fans, and I'm not going to call them out by name. I could, but I won't. They were leaving before the show even ended, and guess what? They would have been happy if they would have stayed.
Right.
Yeah.
Support the people you love. If they win, great. If they don't, you still stick by them.
Right.
I am a loyal soldier to the Revolution. I've been getting creamed week in and week out for my father, and that is a sacrifice I am willing to make week in and week out.
No one goes further for the Revolution than you who doesn't fall on their back. That's for sure. I mean, no one is. I mean, if you're falling on your back, that's a whole other thing. But that's a lot of cream, Chris.
Gentlemen, I said before we even came on air, I think I said it to Brian Hines. I had cream, and this is supposed to be PG-13, so I'm going to keep it PG-13 as much as I can.
We would appreciate it.
I had cream in places where nobody should ever have cream.
So that's a diehard Revolution fan.
Yes.
We'll just leave it at that.
Let's move on.
Yes.
So, Jackman, what do you think? Beaches, Cream, Cal Hero, or the Revolution?
I actually think the Revolution. I think it's going to be hard for Cal to get his 2 cents in here in this match, even though he is the partner. He's the partner of the champion. I think that Beaches and Cream's partnership, Beaches and Cream's chemistry, is just too strong. Adding Cal Hero into it is going to mess it up a little bit, and the Revolution will take the victory.
All right, look at that, Brian. You want to make it unanimous? You got another opinion?
Make the right choice.
I honestly don't know what's going to happen.
Head, heart.
This. I mean, everybody on the Revolution side, that is a united front, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Beaches and Cream, which is also a separate but smaller united front on the opposite side of that. But now we have Omar and Cal, who are the tag team champions, who beat AJZ and Dalton McKenzie last week. So they're also like a subset of that other side of the equation. So I'm not entirely sure how these two subsets are going to interact when it comes to being in a match versus the Revolution. I feel like
they are different energies.
What you said is pretty accurate. I feel like there's going to be some disjointedness on that side.
Too many cooks.
Too many cooks in the kitchen, and nobody's got the recipe. Do I think that that's going to drive a wedge between Luscious and Omar because Omar and Cal are tag team champions? I don't know. Do I think that Revolution are going to try to do something like that and amplify that? I would not be surprised. Do I know who's going to win the match? I would say it's probably the Revolution for that reason. I feel like they're going to
sweep.
Just because I feel like they are going to effectively exploit the fact that there are two kind of subsets on the other side of the ring instead of just like 3 people who are great friends or a different faction or group.
I was hoping you'd go the other direction so that our friend over here didn't get any too big ideas, but here we go.
Kind of makes you wonder what side.
I will say this, gentlemen. I promise you tonight, our Father is already got the plan and the blueprint laid out. It's all in the details. And even though I won't be there tomorrow night, that is the only benefit going in Omar and Luscious's side, because they are too focused on me. I'm a paying customer. Okay, I'm not no physical threat, but yet they find me to be a threat.
You're raising some good points here. I'm not lying to you.
I'm just saying.
I feel like this may be. I feel like this has turned into a recruiting video, and I'm not sure I'm comfortable with it. But let's move along, shall we? There is more Revolution action, so you can put your R back up, Chris, as we talk about J-Rod. As soon as I can convince the birthday boy to wake up, there he goes. J-Rod of the Revolution, the OVW Women's Champion, versus Dayami Ho.
Oh yeah.
This is,
I want to see that.
Yeah, I'm ready for that. That's exciting.
Oh, I think Dayami Ho is dynamic enough and interesting enough and brings a different style than what we see a lot of in OVW right now. Is it a championship match or is it just a match?
I can't see from the magic box that is right up there on the screen ahead of us.
If it is a non-championship match,
I'm sure it's a non-championship.
I'm going Dayami Ho.
Ooh.
I said I qualified with non-championship.
Think of it as an exhibition.
Yeah, no, I want to see, and I think this could be a really fun spot for Dayami Ho to make a huge impression.
We've only seen Dayami Ho once, right?
Yes.
In action. She was there the night that the Revolution had to give back the locker rooms. She was there ringside as well.
Okay, but we've only seen in-ring action once.
She may have been there that very first night when the cowboy was more like a shepherd. Like the first time we saw the whole locker room get emptied.
But yes, in action, we've only seen her. To answer your question.
Right. So we really don't know what her full capabilities are. I kind of feel like all bets are off on this one. And if there was a wild card that was going to come in and knock something loose, I think this is just as likely as anything else. Diami Ho.
All right. Hang on.
Chris, do we
no
have
offense.
to ask?
J-Rod's a tour de force and all that, but
Gentlemen, you know good and well that our queen, the ultimate athlete, our OVW women's champion, mind you, I believe she has been one of the most dominant and defending champions since I've been in attendance. And I will have you know, did you see last week what she did to Freya? And Freya, believe me when I say this, she is a stud.
Oh, yeah.
No one questions that. Or at least you better not let Freya hear you question it.
No. I don't want my head to be cut off.
I think a lot of early Revolution adopters saw Freya maybe filling the role that J-Rod does.
Yes.
yeah, I thought so.
We saw, we had Freya right here with Crixus 24 hours before he joined the Revolution.
That's exactly why I thought that was going to happen.
And that's my guy's Crixus. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, we all miss Crixus a lot.
We certainly hope he is
Seriously.
doing well and on the way to recovery from surgery.
But
J-Rod.
Of course.
Put your house on it. J-Rod. All day, every day, and then twice on Sunday.
All right. I do love that turn of phrase. Let's move on
I've
to
always
our.
loved that one.
Let's turn on to our final matchup that we know of, which is Hollywood Haley J taking on Megan Myers, whose name and face do not ring a bell.
That doesn't bode well for Miss Megan Myers.
So here's what I want you guys to predict. Because we know Freya is in this episode. We're going to talk. She has an appearance card. We'll talk about it in a minute. Does Freya the Slayer come and get some revenge on Hollywood Haley J? Because last week, they were in the middle of a match, and just the sight of Chris's queen, J-Rod, was enough to distract Freya long enough for Hollywood to get the win. Feels like maybe there could be some vengeance on the way here.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
Anybody want to put some money on it?
This would be a perfect place to do it. I'll take it.
All right. So you think that Freya interferes in this match?
I think this would be the perfect place on the card for her to do so, yes.
Somebody in the chat, Roger, says Haley versus Viperous now?
Okay, well, these are all new to me. I mean, I pulled these literally like 3 hours ago.
That doesn't bode well for Viperous.
No. Yeah, the only thing that can save either one of these people, to my mind, is Freya the Slayer. That's the only way this goes in their way, and I still don't think it goes their way. But
that's our last one that we have.
Anybody want to take the not Hollywood Haley J option? Wave your hand at me. Nobody's waving.
Wait.
So,
no, probably not.
Because I agree with what you said, Tiny. It's going to be this would be the perfect time. The only way Haley's losing this is if Freya gets involved.
Right. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think there's gonna be a decision.
That's probably the best. Yeah, so Freya comes in, messes things up. There's a no decision, and you know what? My body's ready. I want to see it. I'm loving the rampaging Freya that we're getting right now. I think it's great for her, and it's fun to watch.
I want to quickly too add on. Did you see by the end of the segment last week when J-Rod finished Freya to help Haley? Did you notice that J-Rod tried to give the signal of excellence to Miss Hollywood Haley J? And I love me some Hollywood Haley J.
I was gonna ask. I felt like, because we know that you love J-Rod. She's the queen.
Yes.
She's your queen.
Sure.
You one of your early favorites, period, was Hollywood.
She still is.
Right.
If you noticed, if the camera was on me last week or the couple weeks back when she took on J-Rod in the match, I actually didn't even make a single sound. I sat there.
Conflicted, huh?
Yeah, because that's how much respect I have for Hollywood. But I will say this. It is time for Miss Hollywood Haley J to come aboard. It's either you're with us or you're against us. And I know she doesn't play, and I love her, but it's always better on this side.
Would she replace J-Rod as the Queen of the Revolution? Put you in a tough spot there, didn't I?
Yeah, how's that going to work?
Let's not make him choose here. I think we're going to raise his blood pressure if we ask him to choose.
I think my headphones went out, gentlemen. I couldn't hear that.
Having a little it's a shaky connection. All right, let's move on to our appearances. See if we have anything to think here. First appearance we know is Bigfoot himself, Cash Flow.
Bigfoot.
What do we think?
I gotta give Cash Flow a shout out because one of my favorite podcasts reviewed season 2 of Tulsa King, and they didn't have anything negative or positive to say about Cash Flow, and that's a good thing. Usually, if you're good on something, they're not gonna bring it up. If you're bad on something, you're getting roasted on there. So good job, Cash. You didn't get roasted. That's a good thing.
Yay.
So what do we think? Is he going to? You think we get a match?
I think he's going to try to stomp a mud hole in Star Rider's ass after last week.
I think there's something else
behind.
More important.
What's that?
I don't know, producer. You tell me.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cosmic Joe Chronicles super chats with $2 and says, "Haley J is my future ex-wife."
I want my $2.
Shoot for the stars, dude.
Some people are liking it.
And I'll say this. I say this. This is a free piece of advice to all the gentlemen out there. Shooting your shot is rarely worth it. Shooting your shot is rarely worth it.
It's very true.
It does not work. It will not work.
No, I can't see it. So, any strong predictions related to Cash Flow?
You got mine.
What did we say again? I'm sorry.
I think Cash Flow is going to try to stomp a mud hole in Star Rider's behind after last week losing in a cheap defeat to Star Rider during the tables match.
I mean, he literally kind of got blown off the ring run, the apron, the hardest part of the ring. All right.
That's what I hear.
Anybody, Jackman, you got anything? You don't have to. You can just say nah.
Nah, I don't want to touch that one.
All right. Heel Rider. You know that I've been hearing that around. Everybody calling him Heel Rider now, Mr. Star Rider. Let's move on to our next one, who we've already spoken about a little bit. But she is the Queen of the North herself. I also hear that she is Donna in Ghost Agents. Have you guys heard that?
Donna Prentice, yes.
Yes.
That's
the Queen of the North herself, Freya the Slayer. Everybody feeling comfortable about the whole we're going to mess with Hollywood, or do we think maybe she'll mess with J-Rod? I mean, J-Rod's got a match too. Any chance that she'll get involved in that?
We're talking about rampaging Freya. I think that she's going to get into both of them, and we're probably going to get a video vignette in the beginning or afterwards of her like flipping cars out in the parking lot, or I don't know, like just punching dumpsters down the street. It could be anybody's guess, really. You just don't know, man.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree. In all honesty, weird that there's so much synergy tonight. Yeah, but I think this version of Hollywood or of Freya the Slayer, rather, anything could happen with her. So,
all right.
If you're in the women's locker room, keep one eye open. Keep one eye behind your back.
Bold prediction: the Reckoning pay-per-view. It'll be a fatal four-way. It'll be J-Rod defending the OVW Women's Championship against Hollywood Haley J, Freya Slaya, and if Angelica Risk is available, put her in that.
I could not agree more.
But of course, our queen is going to come out victorious, as she always does.
Why wouldn't she?
All right. And the last, next. We've already spoken about him as well. It is the newest addition to the Revolution ranks. And recently a guest on your podcast, if I'm not mistaken, on the Final Count, Star Rider.
Absolutely.
We've talked to him once or twice, and
he's an awesome dude. He's I feel like if there's one person, since I've been in attendance, I'm speaking through my time being at OVW, I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for what he's done. I feel like he's been severely underrated, but I feel like people could say what they want. They could say that he's turned heel, that he's heel rider, he's not star. He's still the star of the show, and he showed that at the Final Count podcast last week for us. And I had to tell my host on the podcast that there is a higher level of intelligence watching at all times. And guess what? Mr. Star Rider himself, our Rush Division's champion, came on, and he had my back. So Star Rider made the right choice, regardless of what people out there may think. He didn't sell out. He bought in to the greatest father that anybody could ever ask for, and I'm talking about one leather daddy, Doug. And guess what? Nobody looks as good in leather as he does.
Our father who art in leather.
To be fair. That's next week's costume.
Okay. I would like to see Star Rider in a leather mask since he's joined the Revolution.
I don't, because I like Star Rider.
No, not one of those.
I don't want him
masks.
to, like, die.
No, not that either.
Of, like, heat stroke trying to do a splash. That would be awful.
Leather doesn't breathe too well, and you're going to get real hot, and you're probably going to pass out.
And people are going to start to really get the wrong idea.
PG-13, Jack.
Yeah, that was
PG-13.
I'm so good at the line. I know exactly where that line is. Malachi, birthday boy. Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday, Malachi P.S. Woodard.
If I could say one thing sincerely before we go to break, Malachi.
Still one more thing to do.
Let me say this first.
Okay.
Malachi, thank you so much for everything that you do for us. I know that sometimes it can be hard to do this, working with your dad, all of that stuff. Nobody wants to do that, be in the family business, but you do a great job. Thank you so much for being the glue that holds this whole thing together, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I offered him the mic. He does. He doesn't appear. So
I offered a signal of excellence to you, sir.
Well,
happy birthday.
Shalonce is in the chat.
Yeah, I was just going to mention. Yeah, she's.
And as far as birthdays go, we can't forget about one Kathy Anderson.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh so, yes, Catherine Anderson.
Right.
Yeah.
Duh.
Happy birthday. Seeing her at the Bourbon Brawl. All right, let's do our last appearance, which is Tony Evans and his backup, Jay De Niro. Hush. That is EC3 for some reason.
Oh, no, is EC3
Let's just
be
kill. There it is. No, they've not advertised him there. And even when they do, he doesn't always show.
Sometimes he doesn't come.
So let's talk about Tony. He doesn't even bother to send in a video.
EC3, he's smart on this side of things. He knows if he comes back, the Revolution's going to stomp a mud hole in him just like we did the last time.
Right?
They sure did, just kind of out of nowhere. Just turning on their own. That doesn't concern you at all, Chris? Just the whole.
He was never a part of it.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I would say honestly that one of the reasons the Revolution experiment has gone so well is that EC3's not in it.
He's not here every week messing with it. You wouldn't be wearing that shirt if he was, would you, Chris? Fair to say?
Hard to say.
Hard to say.
All right. Well, let's do our last. Anything y'all want to have to say about Tony Evans and Jay De Niro? Tony Evans and Jay De Niro.
I wonder whether this will be where we actually see the cracks starting to show up.
Because they will both be in that. Speaking of EC3,
and there's $10,000 on the line, dude.
Of our father's money, by the way.
And I love
his
all
own
you guys,
money.
but $10,000 is going to make me do stuff that I wouldn't ordinarily do because I would rather have $10,000 and. That's just how that is.
That's like one leather suit.
I'm just let's applaud real quick to our father real quick for Leather Daddy Doug being that generous to put that much of a purse up for.
Is it a leather purse? Probably.
It may be.
It's a Crown Royal bag. I just want it to be noted. I did not clap.
We here behind the scenes are not clapping either.
I did not clap.
We support your right to clap.
I stay impartial.
We support your right to clap.
I'm impartial too, if you can't tell.
I tell Keith that all the time. I'm Switzerland.
So let's go ahead and take our final break, final segment, and we will come back right after this. Hey, Brian.
Hey.
Have you seen how cool this shirt is?
I see that.
You know, we have a whole TeePublic shop that sells these.
I did not know that, no.
We do, yes. And we have links in all of our social media about it. You can get this, or you can get the unofficial.
You can get this, or you can get that.
That is absolutely true.
I'm Sarah, and I'm with the OVW Fan Zone.
I'm Christian, and I'm with the OVW Fan Zone.
Dream a reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling, the OVW Academy with Al Snow, the birthplace of legends including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
I'm Keith, and I'm in the OVW Fan Zone.
I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
Hey, it's Boys of the Valley, Eric Cornish, and I'm in the OVW Fan Zone.
Welcome back to the OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. Final segment here tonight. My name is Jack Minoaks.
I'm Brian Hines.
We're joined by Chris Runyon, and we're on the 4B cam here because 4B has decided to rejoin us. We're going to put
gracing us with her presence yet again.
We're going to put the Pikachu on.
Pikachu, I choose you.
And we'll see if she makes it the rest of the show here. Chris, thanks for joining us tonight, man. We've had a blast. That last segment flew by. You'll have to come by and do this again with us sometime soon. If you enjoyed Chris's thoughts, Chris's knowledge of wrestling, Chris's voice, his persona, you can find it where, Chris? That's the Final Count podcast?
Yeah, so you guys can go over to actually on the Facebook page of it, the Final Count, and if you scroll over there, we actually have a whole link of selections that you could find us through the actual website. There's also a YouTube channel, and we create content basically each week. And
when do you all release?
It's been fun. It's been a lot of.
What's your release day, Chris?
The what?
What's your all's release day?
We go live on Fridays, and we generally have it drop the next day on YouTube. So it's basically a pre-recording, but we really enjoy what we do, and I appreciate you guys having me on here to be able to plug it. And my social media, most people can find me through just my name, Chris Runyon.
RUNYON.
RUNYON. I know it's very weird.
Chris, the old school way, CHRIS.
Yes, pretty much the only way. Well, no, I guess you could do the K.
You do the K.
Yeah.
Some I like some of those, but I think Chris really, when we're looking at Chris, it's CHRIS really.
Yes.
Runyon, it almost rhymes with onion.
You know how many times I got made fun of with that in school?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, I bet that's the middle school joke right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you guys having me on, though. This has been I also want to say something, too, real quick. I want to give a quick shout-out to the moderating team on the Fan Zone. Keith Silva, Wendy Graham, Ren Iris, Miranda Jenkins, and Jason O'Hara. You guys do a phenomenal job, of course, along with you gentlemen.
They make it easy. We almost never get involved.
Well, I just want to say, if you want to know who's really behind everything that comes through the Fan Zone and all the content and everything, like what you guys are doing is awesome. I believe Jason had the original inception of the whole Fan Zone
He sent us a message asking to do it.
And, so if you guys get a chance and you're at, Hot Point Davis Arena and you see these wonderful people, please go up to them and say thank you and show them how much you appreciate them, because what they're doing for all of us, it really helps give us all an escape through our hard weeks and our lives. And wrestling's done that for me. All of you guys have done that for me. thank you so much for having me on. I would love to come back, and I can't wait for what the future holds. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan, but it's an especially great time to be an OVW fan.
So Keith Silva, since we bring him up, yes, and I do love the moderator team. Thank you guys for running that. Basically, let me put that group on autopilot. So because of the other 1,000 things I have to do, thank you guys so much for all of that.
Very well said, too, Chris.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yep.
That's the first thing I knew about Chris, is that he was very well spoken. Because you when you first started coming, you would put these reactions out, and that's what first caught my attention about you. So,
yeah,
well done. But Keith says, he thinks Luscious is going to turn.
Oh man,
Luscious. Could you set it all aside, Chris, if Luscious was to turn?
I will set anything aside to be on the right side, and that is with one Leather Daddy Doug, and that is a sacrifice I will make 100 times over again.
What about 101?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this follow-up bonus question: do you think that he would turn? But if he does turn, do you think he would join the Revolution?
Well, I think that's what Keith meant.
Yeah.
Known Revolution supporter that he is.
Well, I guess, but it wasn't actually expressly said, so I figured that I would ask about that. You think that's a possibility?
I think anything's a possibility. I think, Doug has done an incredible job with the Revolution, and I think he's always open to anybody to come in as long as they're loyal. And, I would forgive Luscious if he came over and saw the light.
I think that would be such a devastating loss of the two great babyface performances Luscious has put in over the past 2 weeks.
That is true.
I think that would be just such a devastating loss of momentum for those two performances, especially. But that's just me. I'm just a dummy on the internet.
You're just dressed as Ash Ketchum.
I'm a 33-year-old man dressed as a 10-year-old boy from a Japanese cartoon
from 1996.
But you got 4B.
And by Japanese cartoon, I mean an half an hour ad that they showed to me and I bought.
All right. Ryan Davis all night has been asking, when does Al Snow come back? He wants Al Snow, Al Snow, Al Snow, Al Snow. And I miss Al Snow.
Sure.
I think I look forward to the eventual collision between Al Snow and Leather Daddy Doug. I think that's going to be for one epic pay-per-view matchup. Probably not this one, but sometime soon.
So would that make it the Leatherhead match?
Oh, if they don't call it that, they're leaving money on the table.
I'm going to take credit for that.
I think we might see Al maybe as soon as 10:59 Saturday night, November 2nd.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think that might be how the pay-per-view ends.
In the meantime, let's get to the calendar. Tomorrow night at 6:15, Hot Point Davis Arena, it is OVW Rise. Be there. Bell rings for Rise at 7, but if you're there early, you can see OVW Overdrive's tapings. Some great matches there, up-and-coming things. People you don't see in Overdrive or in Rise are there.
And that cowboy guy
might show up.
I'm glad you said that, because I was going to say it. Cowpoke.
Listen, we remember your gimmick. We don't remember your name, but we want to see more.
we like you, cowboy guy.
In my head, you're Cowpoke Andy, because there should be Andy written on the bottom of your boot. But there isn't yet.
Not yet. Someday soon, maybe. Monday morning, we will have our reaction to Rise on the unofficial podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling. That is OVW Podcast at OVWpodcast.com and at OVW Podcast on all the social medias that you care about. Then Tuesday, you can see the OVW Overdrive, where the show that always kicks out at 2 with Brian Kennison and Dance and Stevie J. And next Wednesday, you are right back here for OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Tiny Brian. That is an actual live cat on my set for some reason.
It's not a prop.
Our thanks to Chris Runyon once again. Just for you, Chris, this is once Viva la Revolution. Final Count reminds us that your special guest this week is J-Rod herself. Good job on the scoop on that.
Great catch. Great get, man.
This is a production of Blacklight Moon Productions in association with Gladiator Sports Network. Catch us next week and have a